Hey guys, welcome back to another match reaction. Slightly different setting. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I am watching the Chelsea Leeds game, and just need to make sure Chelsea drop points there. But yeah, slightly different setting. I'm in the living room now because I need to watch that. I need to watch that game. They haven't won any game when they're 2-0 behind. Okay. Oh, sorry. But yeah, Arsenal 2, Brentford nil. And this was a game that we needed to win. Definitely the pressure was on us to deliver. Fulham almost done us a favour yesterday. But they couldn't get they couldn't get that equaliser. 5-5, what a game that would have been. But yeah, we came into this game with that impetus to collect 3 points, and we done so. And to be fair, the game was, I was a bit split on how the game went. I think in large spells we looked quite good in terms of actually moving the ball. The pace of it was slightly better than what we normally do, but obviously there's still things that I'm still obviously annoyed at, and it's just not going to change in it. Like, in terms of just like when the opportunity is there to play the ball forward, we drag it back, play it across the line instead of going in the middle. There's times when Rice is in that little pocket space where there's lots of space. The ball doesn't get played to him, and there's times when he receives the ball and then the ball's supposed to play the diag and it doesn't go in the diag. Instead it goes down. Ooh. Amazing. Hey, this is not a healthy watch, man, but hopefully successful hate watch. But yeah, I think in terms of just how we play, it's just not going to change in it. Like, we just have to understand that. But look, I'd rather us, now seeing what City done yesterday. It's actually not the end of the world, us being a little bit more patient, because you're not conceding that many chances on goal. Because, for a game to end 5-4 when you're 3-0 up is diabolical at any level. So yeah, you can't really have that much to aim for. But in terms of our actual performance, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Marino, I'm not Marino's biggest fan, and my worry with Marino has always been playing him in the middle is always the issue I have, because he's not he's a midfielder, sorry, but his skill sets doesn't really fare well in the Premier League in the middle. So playing him up top actually is a much smarter and actually a much more effective way to use them, because my issue with Gyökeres and strikers in general is if you're not scoring goals, at least make yourself useful and make yourself an actual focal point for the team. Make yourself a option in terms of the build-up, because it makes it easier for us to play when our striker is actually involved in the play. So that's Mourinho's biggest strength, dropping into that 10 and dropping into that midfield and creating that overload is something that he does really well. And because of he kind of creates that extra man, it means that he's able to pick up spaces under pressure where he's able to just turn and play that pass. Where in just general play where he's playing in like that double pivot with Zubamendi or Rice, he tends to look a bit too heavy-footed on the ball, and sometimes it just takes an absolute millennium to turn and pass, and that's where in the Premier League playing in that middle can kind of hamper you a little bit. And that's why I was looking at thinking Marino as a midfielder, the moment he came in, and I said, nah, this ain't it. So yeah, him as a striker is a very good option, and it gives something for attack. And I think in a lot of games, I think that's should be our go-to, because we have a lot more control with Marino in there, because he just offers us that level of control that we don't get with Gyökeres. Gyökeres is a touchline striker. He's a traditional striker where he's kind of playing between the two centre forwards, and ultimately it means that we lose that extra man when we're trying to build up. But yeah, I think our best player there was Marino. I actually do like Marino as a striker, and also Ben White as well. Ben White had a very good game. I think him as as an attacking fullback is a much better option than Timber. Timber's clear to see Timber is a centre back playing right back, and Timber has technical ability enough to look so comfortable with the ball. That's why in a lot of games, Timber defensively, even in that cameo, him defensively, he just looks a lot more sound within that. God, yeah, within that centre back area. So, yeah, he done what he. There's a few stuff that he was doing. Ben White, I was a bit like there's a time when the ball went across him, and that ball just needed to cut across between those two centre backs for Brentford, and then I don't know what he was doing at Saka there. He just completely fluffed his lines, and the ball just went out for a goal kick, which was so annoying because that was such a good opportunity. And for large parts of that game, we needed that second goal to kill it off. And that first goal was really good build up from both Noni and Ben White. Noni, to look, I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't want Noni in this club, and rightly so, because we for so long we've been fishing in Chelsea's bin and coming out with nothing, like with just fish buds with peanut butter on top of it. So it's time that we actually got something out of Chelsea. But yeah, Noni's it's weird because he looks productive, but his end product is woeful. Like honestly, like I don't know how to explain, because in terms of actual directness, he does give you that directness that Saka doesn't really give you. And to be honest with you, Saka's never really been that direct. And I think with injuries now, it's kind of forced him to move his game away from that. But Noni in that sense is. But the issue with Noni is once he beats his man and it's time to create that opportunity for a goal, it's just not there. Like even with his corners, there's times when he needs to get under that ball to kind of create that lift from the corner, and I don't think he's even under hitting the corners. I just think his technique is off. Like he's just not lifting. He's just not getting enough lift on that ball, and I'm not sure whether because he's under hitting the cross, or his technique is all just janky. So yeah, in terms of directness, he looks busy, but his end product is still my biggest issue with him. But he definitely looks a lot better than I give him credit for, because when we were linked with him, I said I did not want this guy anywhere near this team. And you know, he's for 60 mil. Look, it's not money well spent for 60 mil, but if he's gonna give us something different to what Saka gives us, then I'm here for it. So that's all you can ask for with Noni. Apart from that, Martinelli didn't really get involved with the players much. He went a bit silent, and yeah, Martinelli's more of a off the bench winger. He shouldn't really be starting, and that left side is still a big issue. But obviously when Eze came on, you can immediately see the difference in terms of just general play, like being able to just pick up the ball and drive, and that's something that Martinelli tends to struggle with unless there's space in behind. Once you give Martinelli the ball and you ask him to do something, he's not that kind of player. He's going to retain it and pass it back, and he kind of struggles with that. So yeah, apart from that, yeah, how can I forget? I talk about the goalkeeper. I swear to God, yeah, David Raya gives me anxiety, and for the wrong flipping reasons, man. Like honestly, there was a time he does this thing, right? I'm not sure if Arsenal fans can clock on, right? When he gets the ball, he puts his foot on the ball and he drags it, and I know why he does it. It's to pull in the pressing forward into creating that space in behind. But there's times when he does it for too long and it becomes an issue because, Oh boy, Sunderland beating Liverpool. Yo, this. Oh no, sorry guys, sorry. I've just seen the goal going. I shouldn't be laughing, But yeah, there's times when he drags the ball a little bit too close for my liking, and there's times when we almost concede. There was a time in that first half where he was dilly-dallying on the ball, and he passed it. Yes, he passed it on to Zubamendi when there was two players on him, and then we almost conceded from that. And my thing is just, I think he overplays this whole ball playing goalkeeper thing a little bit too much. And the thing I look at with someone like Donnarumma is Donnarumma, he has no shame. He has no shame in just clearing that ball. Yeah, I've seen all the time. There's a game, I can't remember what game it was. He picked up the ball, he was under pressure, and he just rolled it out for throwing. And that's what I need from my keeper. Just not, there's no nonsense. This thing of like playing a little bit too much with the ball, and sometimes it can cause a little bit too much pressure on our back foot and our six for no reason. So that's the only thing. But great save from that corner though from him. But that's the only thing. It's a bit worrying to see that Hincapié went off. Not sure if he's going to be all right. Sorry, it wasn't Hincapié, it's Mosquera. Hopefully he's all right on that one. Rice looks a bit tired in fairness. And I've been saying he needs to be rested, and rightly so. It was nice to see Odegaard come on. Odegaard actually had a very good game, to be honest. And I actually think Odegaard within our team generally looks like our best player, because he's able to just pick up the ball and just drive. And is able to just pick up the ball and just dictate. And that's something that it's interesting to see, because the trust and levels you see with Odegaard compared to Eze, in terms of Odegaard is able to just drop deep into that pocket where Zubamendi is and just pick up the ball and drive. And there's a few times he done that in the first half, and I was thinking, Eze doesn't really get that, doesn't really do that. Either is because he's instructed not to, or he's doesn't have that belief in himself to be able to pick the ball up from deep and just carry. But apart from that, good performance in spells. I think we nullified Brentford with anything they had, apart from the crossbar opportunity. I can't really think of anything else that they had. Good 3 points onto Villa. Villa's a tough one, so be interested to see how we do with that one. But yeah, anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I should see you for the reaction against Villa.